Welcome, this is Perry Kinney, and I'm glad you could join us. Let's get straight away into our cut. You can see where I'm going to part off from the top line here, and from there I'm going to take my sections that are vertical. I'm going to take off, in my instance, about an inch, inch and a half here, going straight down, and this is going to flatten the line out. I'm not taking too much length off at this point. I'm going to do that later with point cutting. You can do as much as you want. Each section bringing it up to the parting line that it was chosen from. Bringing everything forward to that line and then cutting it straight down. And as you can see, it starts to flatten out my cut. Gives me a lot of texture too. The last section is taken from the bone just behind the ear and brought forward. After that, it is the back. I'm taking every section, directing them straight back. And in this instance, you can see on the right side, I'm going to start there and work my way forward in this same angle as the other side, as the left side. I'm altering my approach just a little bit, doing the back first. This way I can see how much it's flattening out the back before I take it around to the front side. The back of his head here has a lot of extra hair, and so we're going to go through and tone it down first. Now I'm starting to see the line I want, that nice straight flat line. Notice I'm not really cutting below the occipital bone. I'm going to do that in a couple of minutes, but I'm working mostly occipital bone to the lower crown. Now I'm going to go back into those sections as I complete this last piece, and I'm going to start working the lower occipital area to the nape. And you'll notice I'm taking my guide from the lower occipital area now straight on down. And I'll just kind of keep toying with this a little bit till I see the amount of density I want, and then I will take and add both my right and left side into it progressively. Keep in mind that I did check out the undulations and growth patterns in the back underneath the nape area here so that I knew what they would do. You want to be careful here. You don't want to cut it so short and then you have a cowlick that pushes the hair out. That changes the way it's going to lay and how you'd have to cut it. So I knew that was not an issue for me, and I just went ahead and removed what I wanted. Also too, here's a good example of how I'm using the flat of the razor, the flat of the blade, to remove the hair back here. Okay, so now I have the visual established. I can see how it's laying in the back. That's going to help me personally, and I'm going to now work my way forward. That's going to help me to blend in a similar way. Hair is different thicknesses on each side, so I want to accommodate that. And as you just saw with my lines, I'm going to follow the same pattern, about an inch, inch and a half off, give or take, and I'm going to do it straight down. Finishing up the right side, I'm then going to move to the top section and blending it down onto the left. I will do that by taking a small section and including it in, and then point cutting it at the bottom. I'll now have Spencer here hold his mask right there, and then I can remove the ear support. That's going to allow me to clean out around the ear without cutting off his mask. I'll now bring the side front forward so that I can clean it out and do a C shaping, adding strength to my line. And now I want to refine the line by use of point cutting. So I over direct it up and follow the same angle as before. Customize this to how you want to see it fall. It can go very short, it can go much longer, whatever you choose. Now let's move on to the other side and repeat the process there. Do the same thing. Your clean or your line at the top needs to be established. Taking it from just behind the ear, bringing it out straight and horizontal, and then point cut to create your flatter portion. Again, drop the mask so as to refine the line, cleaning it out. Notice I do this in a scissor over comb approach on this side. Actually, that works pretty well for both sides if you want to know the truth of it. And again, I'm going to bring the side section forward so that I can see shape the cut and create a stronger line on my design. Now I'm going to start working on the back. I will comb everything down, get a nice straight line going, and then I'm going to point cut. Notice how that works in harmony with the razor cutting. It still keeps my edges softer, more textured. Be sure to always, and especially on a men's cut, go from the back side section around to the top of the ear section and make sure that the line is blended in. Otherwise, there's some bulk left here that becomes very irritating to most men. Now I will cross-check and refine the length between the lower part of the back and the upper part of the back. Careful to refine, don't re-establish a guide. I will now begin with the front. I'm going to begin by taking the same section I have all along, separating the two, allowing me to isolate the length of the front forward. Now, utilizing the length in the back as my guide, I will take it from the crown and bring it straight on up, see where the two are intersecting, and then begin my line going forward from there. Just straight forward is where I'm going. Now this will establish the center parting from crown to front, and from there I'm going to go diagonally from center to side each way. Now, in effort to control the hair and from going down into his mask, I'm going to use some foil to cover it. Lift straight up and refine the length there. And then bring it forward and take off the corner that's left. Then I'm going to establish the length of the front by means of point cutting. And at this point I'm having him hold the bridge of his mask closer. It works fine for this part. Okay then, now we're just going to refine, blow it dry, and then I'm going to move on to my product. I'm going to style or finish up his product with Redken Stay High 18, a light but very firm mousse. Here you go. And if you'd like to support videos like this by purchasing products that support the expenses of this kind of thing, why, you can do so by following the link in the description.